Hello everyone, welcome to Crow Moon Intuitive Tarot. Today I'm going to do a pick a card reading. We have 3 piles for you to choose from, and it is messages from Spirit. When I was shuffling, I asked Spirit what you needed to know. So this first pile is lapis lazuli. This second pile is selenite. And then this third pile is amethyst. So take a second, meditate over your pile. One of them usually jumps out at me when I'm watching these kind of videos. And let's get started. All right, hello pile number 1. If you picked the lapis lazuli, this pile is for you. I'm going to pop that right there. So we have 1 card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and between 5 and 7 cards from Starman Tarot, depending on what Spirit decided I was doing. So let us start with your Oracle card. It says Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So this is all about the end of this cycle that is 2019 coming to a close and 2020 beginning a brand new cycle. And this is about you really releasing all the things that no longer serve you at the end of this cycle and moving forward into a brand new one. Notice they look kind of tormented down here, but this one looks like she is ready to rise. So they're unbinding themselves to move freely into the next cycle. So there's your Oracle card. Now let us dig into the tarot. We have the Ace of Cups, and I'm having them face you, not me, because I'm on the other side of the camera. The Two of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Two of Cups in reverse. Let me move these guys over a little here. The Sacred Clown, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Prince of Cups in reverse. Okay, so it got more cards than I thought it did. And finally, the Ten of Wands. So let's pop a few of these guys down here. All right, so what this is really telling me, I'm going to start with the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is really talking about the duality within ourselves. And once we release the duality, we can unlock what's within. And with all this releasing of this karmic cycle, I feel like you've really been releasing the duality to let out the inner warrior, the inner light worker, the inner everything. You've been working really hard on that. The Four of Wands is telling me about you healing your inner child, healing all those deep wounds that you've carried since childhood. So you've been doing really good work with that. The Two of Cups in reverse is kind of like the holding space for that special someone. Maybe you already have that special someone in your life and maybe you don't, but you haven't reached your potential with them yet because of all this releasing and all this inner work you've been doing. You have been unbinding yourself. And once you're finally unbound, then that space that's being held can be filled. So that's what the Two of Cups is telling me, that this is space being held for that soulmate, for that deep connection, for that person. Like I said, they might already be in your life, but you haven't connected with them that deeply yet because you've got all this work that you've been doing. And I wouldn't want to connect with that person in my life if I hadn't already given them the best version of myself. So that's what that's all about. The Sacred Clown. So the Sacred Clown is a very interesting card. The Sacred Clown is about being present, but also not taking everything too seriously, because the Sacred Clown knows how serious life really is and the power of a smile, the power of laughter, because we really need the power of laughter in this life. And look at this, he's kind of got like a comet coming out of his finger. And he noticed all these bear traps that he's wandering through, almost like the Fool, moving forward without worrying about what's going on around you, but also knowing the power you have within to change what's around you without worrying about what's going on around you, if that makes sense. Next, let's look at the Ace of Swords in reverse. So this is talking about your new beginning not quite being ready yet, because you're still unbinding yourself. So your Ace of Swords moment isn't quite ready yet, but that new beginning is coming. And you know, look at these. Here, let me pull it up closer for you. Look at here how these actually look like babies in utero. So we've got these little babies in utero that are coming in to help this Ace of Swords, which has seen some things. Look at how rusty this thing is. Come help it make new things. That doesn't make any sense to me, but it should make sense to you. I know it does. Whenever I read tarot, I'm like, this makes no sense to me. But it doesn't need to make any sense to me because this isn't for me, this is for you. We also have the Prince of Cups in reverse. And it's like he's reaching out to usually the Prince of Cups is offering, but this Prince of Cups looks like he's receiving. So there's these two skulls, and there's a letter and a feather, and then the cup. And he's reaching out for the letter and the feather and the cup. And notice how there's someone lurking in the background here, and they've fallen asleep. So this is almost like distant memory beneath him. He's putting that behind him as he's reaching out for this message. So be on the lookout for a message. And the feather seems very, very relevant to some of you. Not all of you. Only take what resonates. But the Prince of Cups is talking about the possibility. Because it's in reverse. It's not upright. It's in reverse. So it's talking about the possibilities. And there's always infinite possibilities. We create our own possibility. Life has the possibility to be anything. You decide what it is. So he's risen above whatever is going on down here. He's literally hovering above it, rising above it. And he's reaching out for that message and that feather in the cup. So be on the lookout for a message coming. Now, again, this isn't for all of you. This is a general reading. But if you picked number 1, there's something for you here, definitely. And then let's look at the Ten of Wands. Whoops. So the Ten of Wands, I'm being drawn to this scorpion down here. There's this scorpion with a star and a line of jewels on his back. And it's almost like he's protecting this person's back. This scorpion has this person's back. He's keeping an eye on them while they unravel the universe. That's what this person looks like they're doing. They're unraveling the universe. They're covered in bandages. They've been through hell and back. And these wands are like falling onto them. So it's like these blessings are just like falling on your head. And it kind of hurts. They're almost blessings in disguise because they hurt as they're hitting him in the head and they're hitting him in the shoulders while he's bent over because he's still recovering. But these staircases leading to nowhere are behind him. And I think that's very significant for you. These staircases leading to nowhere are totally behind him. So don't worry about all the paths that led to nowhere because those are all behind you. You're on the right path. And you have this little scorpion, maybe it's a Scorpio, covering your back for you and making sure that, nobody gets you while you have your back turned. And then the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is like the ultimate blessings overflowing. And they're coming. They're definitely coming. 2020 is going to be a good year for this pile. 2020 is going to be a new beginning, that you release all of your crap and all of your blessings start happening. Your cup is going to overflow. You're not going to be quite so tired anymore. You're not going to feel so run down. It's going to be a better year for your health as well as your emotional well-being, because I don't know if everybody knows this, but your emotional well-being is very intimately tied with your physical well-being. The more you hold on to emotionally and spiritually, the more it's going to manifest in your life physically. So as you're releasing all of this, your physical health and your emotional health are going to get much better, because it feels like you've been struggling with something physically that manifested from what you've been carrying around mentally. So unbind yourself, finish unbinding yourself, and everything will start falling into place. All right, so that was pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. All right. Hello, pile number 2. If you picked this selenite tower, this pile is for you. So I have the Work Your Light Oracle and the Starman Tarot that we're working with today. I think Spirit picked like 6 to 8 cards for everybody. So let's dig into them. First, we're going to start with our Oracle. And it says, get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So if you fall into this category, you're kind of floating out into the ether and you really need to get grounded. Let's stick that right there. You've been kind of floating aimlessly, haven't you? You kind of need to find a practice to get yourself grounded. Go out into nature. I know in the Northern Hemisphere it's winter, but winter's really beautiful too. It's just cold. So find something beautiful about nature and tap into that. Also, if you can't really get outside, something I like to do is stand with like my knees unhinged, you know, and just kind of a soft stance, and really feel like roots are coming out of my feet and digging through the floor and digging through the dirt and digging into the bedrock and just anchoring me there, keeping me in that ground, keeping me connected with Mother Earth, so I can be grounded, so I can do all the ethereal, ephemeral work without totally losing my grounding. So that's a little bit about that. So get grounded, pile number 2. Let's get into our tarot cards. So I'm going to have them face you since I'm on this side. So first we have the Tower. Then we have the World. Sorry if I get out of frame. Then we have the Hierophant. Then we have the Ace of Wands. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. So we have some major arcana going on here. We've got the Tower and the World and the Hierophant. This really feels like a relationship spread. This feels like you and your person are going to collide. Not just get together, you're going to collide. The Tower usually speaks of calamity, but to me, this specific Tower in the Starman Tarot deck feels like alignment. Like everything has kind of been in a cobbled together version of the Tower, and now the Tower is going to become into alignment. So the Tower is aligning. The World is giving me this everything will be whole vibe. And you know, pile 1 was kind of about we're ending a cycle and beginning a new one. And the Tower and the World are definitely giving me a Your cycle has ended, the new cycle's beginning. You know, we have a whole new decade starting. The old decade is gone. Well, it's almost gone. What is it? A couple of days, and then it's totally gone. So the Tower and the World are giving me that the old cycle's over. Get your ass grounded because the new cycle is going to come together and it's going to be fast. It's just going to be like supercharged because you've got the World, you've got the Tower, you've got the Hierophant, you've got the Ace of Wands. Everything is going to be supercharged. So the Ace of Wands is giving me a highly sexual vibe for this one. Like the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands are giving me a... That's what's making me say you guys are going to slam into each other. Now, I told pile 1 that take only what resonates because not everything is going to resonate. This is a general reading. You picked a pile because you felt like it was for you, but there could be parts of this pile that aren't for you, but other parts of the pile that are for you. I encourage you to go look at the other piles too, just in case there's something else that resonates. But this totally is a relationship cycle. A good one, a really good one. So the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands are giving me this slamming into each other, passionate, ripping clothing off, throwing things off of tables, you know, like the sloppy romance movie kind of deal, like where they just come at each other. We do have some roadblocks, and it's not necessarily roadblocks, it's almost just a warning. The Eight of Pentacles, it's like, get your shit together. Get your shit together so you can have your Nine of Cups. Get everything in a row so you can have your Nine of Cups moment. The Eight of Pentacles is telling me that maybe your finances are a little off. Maybe you're working on getting a new house or a new apartment. Maybe you're looking for a new car. And once you kind of get things back under control, because it seems like things got a little out of control, and it could just be that you spent too much for Christmas and you're trying to get that taken care of, because a lot of people do that around Christmas. They spend too much for Christmas and then they're like, shit, what did I do? So get your Eight of Pentacles back in a row. Financially, in your physical world. Get everything back together in your physical world. And then the Nine of Cups, all the blessings can come to fruition. So that's going to be this year. This first year of the new decade, 2020, you're going to have to get your stuff together so you can have your Nine of Cups. But this is a hot, heavy, crazy romance. It could be somebody you already know. It could be somebody new. And the best part is, yes, I'm giving you a sort of prediction, but you still get to choose. You always get to choose. No matter what you hear, no matter what you bring into fruition, you still get to choose. And you can always change it at any point in time. And that's my favorite part about the future. It's not now, because now is concrete. But the next now is not concrete, and you get to change it how you want it to be. So there's pile number 2. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you like this, and I'll see you around. Thank you, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. If you picked the amethyst, this pile is for you. I'm going to pop the amethyst right there. First, we're going to do our work your light oracle. So here is the Work Your Light Oracle card. It says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And that's kind of a cool thing to think about, isn't it? Because we have more support in this life than we ever know. It seems like when we really need support, something comes out of the woodwork. The universe brings someone into our lives. Our spirit guides show up. They do the work for us. Or this is really saying you are on the right path. Don't let fear stand in your way. Pile number 3, fear is a 4-letter word and nothing more. It doesn't have to rule you. It doesn't even have to be a thought in your mind. Fear is a 4-letter word. So get that fear out of your way and get your abundance that's coming on your path. So let's look at our Starman Tarot. I'm going to have it face you instead of me. So we have the Six of Swords in reverse. We have the Emperor. We have the Starman. We have the Ten of Swords. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Devil. Okay. So, trust your path, you're on the right one. The Six of Swords is telling me that you're kind of letting too much in of everybody else. You're kind of letting too many of other people's opinions and thoughts about you in and influencing you. Once you cut out everybody else's stuff and it's just you with yourself, this will flip back over, and the Six of Swords will be you being able to move forward. Because see, he's on a boat here. You being able to move forward, you being able to leave everything behind, but you're still so stuck in everybody else's opinion of you, opinion of your life, people's expectations of you. So if you can get out of that, then you become the Emperor. The Emperor, look at this man. Does he look like he gives a shit what anybody else thinks of him? No. So on the other side of you letting go of everyone else's opinion and trusting your path is the Emperor. And the Emperor gets whatever the hell he wants. He is the boss. There are no kings above him. There's nobody else above him but the universe itself. So become the Emperor. Get rid of everybody else's crap, trust your path, and become the Emperor. The Starman. So the Starman is kind of, oop, I'm dropping him. He's specific to this deck, and he is like the Magician. Except to me, he's different than the Magician. The Magician is kind of an alchemist. The Starman doesn't need alchemy. The Starman just speaks things into existence. He believes things into existence. So remember that you are a divine being underneath everyone else's crap. So you not only get the Emperor, you also get the Starman. You are a divine being. And I'm kind of getting that some of you are starseeds. Hello, starseeds! If you know what I'm talking about, yay, brethren! If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Because there's a reason that people start hearing about starseeds when it's their time to know that they are one. So I feel that a lot of you in pile 3 are starseeds. And remembering your roots helps to remind you that you didn't start here and you won't end here in this physical 3D earth. So remember that you are a divine being underneath all of it. And once you unburden yourself, you can remember that divine being that you are. The Ten of Swords is talking with the Six of Swords about releasing yourself. Because this is the old self, and the old self has died, and there's the new self who's kind of connecting with the old self, like, thank you for being me. Thank you, but you no longer serve me. And since you no longer serve me, I have to let you go. So the former self has died, and it's time for it to go on. Off into the ether so you can be the best Starman you can be. The Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is giving me that hard work vibe. The put your nose to the grindstone, kind of get it done, get it together. And I feel like since you're going to be working so hard on getting rid of your old self and everybody else's opinions, it might be good to do some mindless work while you're doing it. Maybe meditation by itself isn't quite for you because your hands need to be busy while you're doing it. Oh, Dr. Joe. What's Dr. Joe's last name? Is it Desperenza? I'm sorry if I'm butchering his last name. He's talking about retraining your brain because so much of our brain happens in our body because our body likes repetitiveness. So if you are distracting the animal part of you, then the higher part of you can do all this work while the menial animal part of you can do something menial and animal-like, something very basic, something with your hands, something that doesn't need a whole lot of brain power, so you can use your brain power on the inner work, on the remembering to trust your path. And the devil is talking to us about temptation. To me, this sounds like this is a person in your life that's temptation. Don't do it. Now, this isn't for all of you. Like I said with the other piles, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Maybe something in the other piles will resonate for you, but there is a reason you picked the amethyst, and there are things in these cards that are definitely for you. There are some things that won't be, because this is a general reading. I'm reading for a lot of people. But the devil, please excuse me if you hear my cat, she wants to be played with. The devil is temptation in the form of another person. And it might not be, you know, I can hear you guys thinking of who the devil is in your life giving you that temptation. Some of it's family, some of us it's a friend, some of us it's a lover, or an ex, or whatever, or your boss. But whatever that temptation is, leave it. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Leave it behind. Because it's going to perpetuate this cycle of dragging you back into your old habits, dragging you back into that last cycle. And we don't want to be on that crazy cycle anymore. We want to move forward into the new cycle. So leave the temptation behind. So yeah, that was pile number 3. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.